Welcome everyone, RDT 360. I'm Chris B. This is Rob K. How you doing, Rob?
I'm excited. We're at a great conference today.
We are. It's a diversity and parenting conference, and we're on a break here, and we have the benefit of speaking with an attendee, a professional, Miss Ruth Bieghole. I'm going to give you a minute to introduce yourself and what your contribution is and what your purpose is of participating in this conference.
Hi everybody. Well, I was sitting out here listening to these two men, and I was like, in my usual way, I was like, oh, I'm not sure that I agree with that. So I spoke up, and here I am. So I'm at this diversity in parenting conference because I really value and honor, as a parent educator, as a trainer of people who work with children, really understanding the issues around parenting for different cultures. And your topic of parenting
From a father's perspective,
I think is incredibly important to be bringing to the front here.
And you have children and grandchildren?
Yes, I have 3 children, 1 son, 2 daughters, and I have 7 grandchildren.
And one of the things that we talked about before she graciously decided to join the show was that the male role models that us as fathers have had contribute either directly or indirectly
100% contribute
to our conduct and our way of parenting. So Ruth, you had some thoughts on how we can actually bring that to the front of our mind and to understand it,
Right.
to accept it for what it was, and how things, need to be different, shifting the paradigm, as you were saying.
Yeah, I really believe that everybody does the best they can. So I'm not about saying that men are failing or men aren't adequate or men aren't good enough. I think the issue around men in general, and especially when they come to be parents, is that so many of us, well, it's true for women too, haven't done the reflective work of really looking back. What was it like to be a little boy growing up? What were the messages that I got about being a little boy? Were I allowed to have my feelings? Was I allowed to be vulnerable? Was really the only emotion I allowed to have was anger? Was I coached? Did I have a male figure, a teacher, somebody who coached me what it was to have healthy relationships? Did I learn to express my vulnerability? Because these are things that when you father, when you parent, are critical. They're critical to be able to hold your child's emotional intelligence. They're critical to be able to hold your child's, all their feelings. And if you haven't done that work, that self-reflective work, a lot of times we just turn to dominating over our children.
I see.
There was one point we discussed about the times changing. This generation is more about social media. Years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, there was different issues at hand.
Yeah.
And so we can't, what I got from that conversation was I can't blame social media for doing this for this generation, because other generations 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago
Had their own
struggles, had their
Right.
own issues.
You know,
So can you kind of go into that more?
Yeah, I don't think blaming on anything is I don't think it's helpful to blame children. I don't think it's helpful to blame women. I don't think it's helpful to blame, I don't think it leads to creative problems.
You're right, right on.
So I do think there are issues today with social media, and I do think they're interfering with men and women really focusing on relationships with children.
Yeah.
And I think, again, it's a matter of what is that about for me? What does that mean for me? Why can't I actually sustain a relationship with my child? What's uncomfortable for me? Why am I picking up this phone when my child wants to talk
Everyone's
to me?
just picking up the phone every 2 seconds.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Even any downtime there is you have a
Yeah.
parent, another
And
person.
it takes, my commitment is to be in relationship with my child.
Yeah.
If that's my commitment, what didn't I get when I was a child that's helped me do that now? And what do I need to do that? And
Yeah.
I'm all for men sitting around, stop just drinking beer and horrible, but
Well-
sitting around and talking about what was it like to be little boys.
And that's the thing. We should be talking about it.
We should be,
Dads
because-
should be talking about it.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Ruth said it. Dads should be getting together
But if-
and talking about it.
And-
I say when I'm president, I would have every parent, man and a woman or whoever,
This is about what I was about to ask
in
you.
a support group every week.
Yes.
Because it's too big to do without that support.
When you were saying about fathers focusing on self-reflection and identifying their relationships that they had with the male figures in their lives, well, that's a huge task to
That's
take
a
on your
huge
own.
topic, yeah.
So there are resources out there, gentlemen. Look into it, right? You're only as good for your children as you are for yourself first.
Yeah, and if you say to yourself, "Oh my God, I just sounded like my father,"
I've done that.
Stop.
That's a good thing.
No,
That's-
stop. Pause. You
Uh,
say.
So, okay.
No.
I was like, because I say that a lot often.
Well, I mean, if you
Well, it
had
could
a-
be for good
if you
things,
have
right?
a father you want to
Yeah,
be
emulate,
like,
right?
Yeah.
But if you have a father that you don't want to repeat that cycle with your
Yeah.
children, pause at that moment, or take note of it, or come back to it, and repair the damage you do with your children when you talk from
Yeah.
that voice. I'm really sorry. That was me. I wasn't listening to you in the way you wanted to be listened to, because that little boy inside you longed for that from his dad, and you get to practice that. I think parenting is the hardest thing you'll ever do. It's the hard. But parenting is the hardest thing you'll ever do, and whatever job you have, this parenting job is the hardest.
I love the insight. I love the insight.
Ruth, I want to thank you. It was a surprise visit, and this is what it's all about. You want to gather together, you want to put thoughts together and minds together and just better yourself as a whole, and as an outcome, you're a better parent for your child. So
Thank you so much for joining
Ruth,
us.
thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
we'll talk to you guys soon.
Real Dad Talk 360, guys. Next time.